The work that I've done in this video, all the thanks goes to brother from Haneefan. His video called The Book and Something Like It. That is how I got to know about this concept. So kindly do check out his channel and his video.
Rasulullah foretold, there will come a time when people will be leaning on cushions and they will be saying, I do not accept the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Quran is enough for us.
Peace, brothers and sisters of all ages. Hope you're doing well. So we all saw Mr. Adnan Rashid talking about some hadith, right? So I did some digging and I found some ahadith, but this one is Sahih. Created Sahih by Albani. Chapter 1682 in Abu Dawud, Sunan Abi Dawud. So narrated by Al-Miqdam ibn Madikarib. The Prophet said, beware, I have been given the Quran and something like it. Yet the time is coming when a man replete on his couch will say, keep to the Quran, what you find in it to be permissible, treat as permissible, and what you find in it to be prohibited, treat as prohibited. So basically what I did was, I copied this whole hadith on a document. There is a word used in this hadith which has been used in the Quran as well. So I have highlighted this word in red, وَمِثْلَهُ, something like it. Beware, I have been given the Quran and something like it. Now let me show you guys something interesting. Now surahalisra, chapter 17, verse 88. It says, say even if all of mankind and jinn were to come together to produce something like this Quran, bimithli hazal Quran, they could never produce anything like it. Ya'tuna bimithli, even if they backed up one another. So I highly disagree with this man or whoever that said that the Prophet said something like this, while the Quran says that you cannot. So it's upon you guys to decide. There are some points I would like to discuss about this. So let's begin with linguistic and contextual comparison. Number 1, claim of uniqueness. So Quran chapter 17 verse 88 emphasizes that the Quran is inimitable and unmatched. The hadith claim that the Prophet received the Quran and something like it, implying that there is a parallel additional source of guidance that holds similar weight to the Quran. This directly contrasts with 1788, which suggests that nothing can be like the Quran. Number 2, contradiction in authority. The Quran repeatedly emphasizes that it is the complete and sufficient guidance for mankind. For example, chapter 6 verse 114, chapter 6 verse 38, and chapter 45 verse 6. So chapter 6 verse 114, Surah Al-An'am. Shall I seek a judge other than Allah, while it is He who has sent down to you the book explained in detail? Surah Al-An'am, chapter 6 verse 38. There is no creature on earth or bird that flies with its wings except that there are communities like you. We have neglected nothing in the book. Then to their Lord they will be gathered. Surah Al-Jathiyah, chapter 45, verse 6. These are the verses of Allah which we recite to you in truth. Then in what statement after Allah and His verses will they believe? The Hadith undermines this by suggesting that something like the Quran is also necessary for complete guidance, which contradicts the Quran's own assertion of its sufficiency. Point 3. Linguistic elements. Quran chapter 17 verse 88 uses the phrase bimithli hazal Quran, the like of this Quran, explicitly negating the possibility that anything could resemble it. In contrast, the Hadith uses وَمِثْلَهُ مَعَهُ, something like it with it, implying that there is something else comparable to the Quran. This is linguistically and contextually in conflict with the Quranic claim of inimitability. Point 4. Focus on Quran versus other sources. Quran chapter 17 verse 88 reinforces the Quran's unmatched and complete status. The Hadith criticizes those who say stick to the Quran only, implying that the Quran alone is insufficient without external sources of guidance. This contradicts verses like chapter 6 verse 114, where Allah asks rhetorically, shall I seek a judge other than Allah, while it is He who has sent down to you the book explained in detail.
People will be leaning on cushions. People will be leaning on cushions. People will be leaning on cushions.
So leaning on cushions, is it that bad? Well, let's see what the Quran talks about it. In Surah Al-Ghashiyah, chapter 88, verse 15 and 16. It goes like this, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وَنَمَارِقُ مَصْفُوفَةٌ وَزَرَابِيُّ مَبْثُوثَةٌ. So verse 15 says, and cushions set in rows. And verse 16 says, and fine carpets spread out. Here the word namariq refers to cushions, which are part of the luxurious furnishings described in paradise. Well, apparently we have these sort of furnishings in our world as well. I want you to pay a little attention on the second word in verse 15, masfufa. The word sofa is present right there. A sofa requires a namariq. So basically, Allah is talking about people in heaven, in paradise, leaning on cushions, enjoying themselves, victorious.